On today's show, Monster Hunter Wilds Title Update 2 is almost here. We play another round of Monster Hunter Mastery, and finally, Monster Hunter Roguelike is back. So don't forget your hot drinks as we ready up for this episode of the Palibros. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 14 of the Palibros, a podcast where a group of friends get together to talk about anything and everything Monster Hunter. Of course, I'm one of your hosts and the first to cart, Patrick Jovez. Alongside me, we have the Hunting Horn elitist Max.
Cheers.
So tasty, Ryan.
I'm hungry.
He's always hungry. Do you not eat? What's going on here?
No, I'm so hungry.
And the mix set maniac, Brian.
Good to see everyone. How y'all doing?
Doing pretty good. It's been a pretty crazy week for games. Switch 2 came out, last week? Summer Games Fest happened. There's just been a lot that's kind of taken over. So I figured we'd take a little break, like a break from the show, just to enjoy all the Switch 2 stuff. Well, Brian, have you even gotten to enjoy yours yet, or are you still fumbling with that issue?
Fumbling with it, yeah. So I've been able to play it a little bit here and there, but unfortunately for everyone here who is unaware, I did get a Switch 2 that has one dead pixel on it. It's so small. It's so unnoticeable to probably most people.
Wait, was it a staple?
No, thank God I didn't go to Staten Island and get it. My fucking Switch from that GameStop. But yeah, I saw it. I can't unsee it, and if I'm gonna be using this thing for another couple of years at least, I would like to return it. So,
but you couldn't resist, right? You had to try it a little bit.
I had a little bit just to see how it ran.
What did you try out?
Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was the one. It's fun.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed, we'll see. I think Best Buy basically doesn't have any stock left, so when I return it, I probably won't get one for a while, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, I hear it's been easier to get this console than past consoles launches. So, I think if you do a little bit more looking around, you'll be able to get it. But are you primarily trying to get it through Best Buy?
Or Costco.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we could always keep a lookout for you too. But yeah, just been enjoying my Nintendo Switch as well. Been playing lots of Mario Kart. The mechanics in that game are crazy and it's super fun. But yeah, we're here to talk about Monster Hunter actually. So let's go ahead and talk about some Monster Hunter. Ryan, I think you showed us something pretty cool.
Yeah, a little blast from the past, a little nostalgia that never existed. I saw this really cool post that was like this guy, Egg, great name. And he was doing this project, I guess, over the last year, where he's like doing pixel art versions of all the Monster Hunter monsters. So it looks straight like it's like the Mandela effect. You're like, wait, is there a Game Boy game that I never played with Monster Hunter in it or something? It's like, So some of the art is just really cool. It seems to be really well done, and it looks like it could be legit. So obviously it's a thing that never existed. So it's not legit, but definitely commend the attention to detail and the sprite work, and that's a whole art form in and of itself. Did you guys get a chance to peek at it?
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, man, they look like straight up Pokemon sprites for like the Game Boy Advance games and stuff like that. They look really cool. I'm kind of mad that there isn't like a real Game Boy Advance Monster Hunter game,
right?
Where
right?
we just, like, do this stuff.
yeah, it's pretty cool to see, people kind of take different hybrids of stuff like that, and kind of do a nice crossover. I feel like the crossover guy at this point. So, I'll if I see any more cool Monster Hunter art, I'll make sure to bring it up. But yeah, that was the one that I just saw today, and I was like, wow, this is like actually really well done.
You found it on Reddit or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And the guy's name was Egg.
Yeah.
Okay. And for your Spanish speakers, it's huevos para tres.
Yeah, there you go.
But before we get into the show, let's go ahead and take a look at the event quest schedule for June 10th through June 17th. You guys get 3 event quests. The first is 3 Tails Better Than None, where you hunt 3 Chemetries in the Wounded Hollow for some possum faux feline alpha headgear. Must be HR 16 or plus to participate. The second is Ballet in the Rain Makes Its Return, where you hunt the Tempered Lalabarina in the Scarlet Forest for some glowing orb swords. Must be HR 21 plus for that. And lastly, Sand Scarred Soul also makes its return, where you hunt the Doshiguma in the Windward Plains for some glowing armor orbs. Must be HR 19 plus. Moving on to some housekeeping for you. Get the limited time Monster Hunter series pack on Steam. This includes Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, both of their expansion passes, as well as both Monster Hunter Stories games in one epic bundle. This deal is going to end on 6/19, so don't forget to act fast. I checked out a couple of them too. I already own both of them. Might pick up Monster Hunter Stories because I have the first one on, not the Switch, the 3DS, and that ran like straight up dookie. But yeah, they're going at a very discounted price, so if you guys like Monster Hunter, then go ahead and check out those deals. They're right there for you, and you got a couple of days to go ahead and purchase them, so don't forget. But of course, let me remind you that this is the Palibros podcast, where each and every episode we try to keep you up to date on the latest Monster Hunter news, play Monster Hunter trivia, and in general talk about one of our favorite franchises. So don't forget, you can get each and every episode on youtube.com/@thepalibros, Spotify, and a variety of other podcast services for your listening pleasure. And if you like what we do, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing this episode with friends, and hitting that bell icon to help support us and to know when each of the latest episodes are posted. With all that out the way, though, let's go ahead and begin our show with the latest in Monster Hunter news. Today in Monster Hunter news, we have 2 stories. Our first story, Monster Hunter Wilds director teases title update 2 content. This is from GameRant.com and is written by Mohsen Bakari. Monster Hunter Wilds director Yuya Tsukuda has teased new features coming in title update 2, including additional monsters and layered weapons. Capcom's action RPG has recently faced criticism over its lack of endgame content. It now seems the developer has taken the feedback to heart, with the team working to add more content for high-level Monster Hunter Wilds players. Monster Hunter Wilds recently hit an unfortunate milestone with its player count dropping by half in just 2 weeks, matching that of its predecessor. Many fans and critics believe the decline stems from a lack of challenging content. According to them, once players reach a certain level, monsters become too easy to defeat, making the grind feel pointless. Aware of these concerns, the game's director has shared promising news about the future of Monster Hunter Wilds that's likely to excite fans. In his latest letter to the community, Yuya Tsukuda assured fans that the game will feature more difficult hunts. Title Update 2 set to launch this summer or at the end of the month, which is actually at the end of the month. Sorry, the timing of the article is weird. Title Update 2 happens at the end of the month, so look forward to that. For the
end of the month is the end of the month.
Yeah. For the uninitiated, tempered monsters in Monster Hunter Wilds are tougher variants with increased health, higher damage output, and new movesets. Tsukuda also teased the addition of layered weapons, which could quickly become a fan favorite feature. If it works like armor sets customization, the feature will likely let players modify their weapon appearances while retaining the stats, which I believe happened in Monster Hunter Iceborne, right? Were you able to do layered weapons in Iceborne? I thought that was a returning feature.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For the full article, head on over to GameRant.com and give them the click. Here's what to expect from the new update at the end of the month. Is the new 8-star tempered monsters, new arch tempered monster, layered weapons, hammer improvements, sacred usability enhancements, new quality of life feature for viewing skill details across various screens. I think that one's weird. Character display toggle in photo mode and option to disable glowing effects from skills and items in photo mode.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Just in photo mode, I guess.
Just in photo mode.
Gotta install the mod like the rest of us for gameplay.
But let's not
I'll
forget.
go mod it on my PlayStation.
Yeah, definitely. Let's not forget the real reason to hop back into the Wild's title update 2, the Legiacris. Like, come on. It's a good monster. Everyone's excited for it, and yeah, just can't wait for that. But what do you guys think of the update? Any hopes? Any aspirations?
I would call it cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously
they can
optimistic.
continue to say like, oh yeah, we'll make it harder. And you're like, we'll see.
I'm a little skeptical of the notion that making it harder is going to bring back a lot of players. Like, I think that's almost like, I hope that's not the lesson that they've necessarily taken away, because like as much as I enjoy challenging content, like just making it harder like doesn't necessarily make you want to grind the game more. Like there has to be a reason for you to want to fight stuff. And so if it's like, you know, there's people that are like, oh, it's not hard enough, baby game, it's too easy, it's not hard enough. But it's like, I don't know that anyone needs to have, like, if they just took a Chematrice and made it do 3 times as much damage, like, is that engaging content? Like, there's still no reason for me to go fight a Chematrice. Like, ultimately, I don't know.
So you're saying you're not enjoying the try Chematrice
Event question
mission right now?
I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe there's a limit of Chematrice that hasn't been hit yet. Maybe if there was 5 Chematrice out at a time, then that would be.
Now we're talking.
Hire this man.
I'm excited about Legiacris, but I just don't know that I for me, like the 8-star tempered editions for the new Udra, Upduna, and the Raidao, like it's a nice addition, but ultimately it feels a little underwhelming because it's like it's basically the same fight but more of an HP sponge.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like Gormagala was already threatening and it's still threatening, and they didn't really move the needle that much for me. Like I felt like Arch Tempered Raidao changed enough of the fight that it was like engaging.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't think that, like, we'll see. When they say tougher monsters, it all depends on which direction they go. Because if they make it tougher by sort of fleshing the monster out, new attacks, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if they take the Arch Tempered Raidao approach versus the 8-star new Udra approach of just give it more HP, more damage, and it's basically the same fight, like
Right.
that's not going to want to make me grind the game more. It's like I already have the stuff that I can make from it.
Yeah. I think
If they take these monsters and turn them into HP sponges just so I can farm for the same amount of Archon fragments, like that's not engaging to me. So I'm like Brian, I'm also cautiously optimistic, but I'm still excited for Legiacris at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think a big piece to what you just described that I want to piggyback on is the fact that it doesn't make a lot of sense to make these monsters harder now because you already have all the materials for everything. Like if the game started with a lot of these difficulty changes where you had to grind a particular monster, you had to grind earlier monsters to get better equipment to then fight said monster, that might have been more doable. But now that we have everything and you just make it harder retroactively, it's just kind of like, well, there's still no end game. It just makes it a little more fun to do some of those hunts again for a little bit.
I think we're just in the position or like the time frame of Monster Hunter where, yeah, these not saying that they're little updates, but like
Baby updates.
We're at the point where we want that expansion. We want the G-Rank expansion to have multiple new monsters and have new experiences, right? In order to like make us want to go back and earn like the armor sets and earn like all the different skills and stuff like that. Because at this point, all we're doing is making things harder. Like, yeah, that's fun to go back to, but then that doesn't necessarily keep you. Like, after you beat the hunt, after you do all that, then it's just like, okay, well, time to go back to do something else while we wait for the next update. So yeah, I agree with the sentiment that, like, I don't think that these updates will necessarily keep the community like staying, like, from leaving until like the next one. But you know, you're definitely going to see an increase in numbers once that G rank update, when the big update comes with all the DLC and all the new stuff. That's when
Who knows when that's going to be.
Yeah, another year.
Another year.
I'm seeing too, like, people in general are definitely, you know, comparing the games already, right? It's like they're like, why are we, you know, like, I saw a graph the other day. It's like content released Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Wilds, and it's like it's already been like twice as much stuff, you know, released for that. So, you know, people are kind of sitting there scratching their head a little bit. They're like, yeah, I guess Akuma's cool if you're in a Street Fighter, but what if you're not? You know, so I thought that was a pretty valid criticism. You know, I'm probably in that camp, right? Like, I don't really care about Street Fighter, so that crossover for me was pretty underwhelming.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think I agree with Max for once. I know we usually don't agree on stuff.
Max, your opinions are divisive to me, but no, not today though.
I mean, thinking back over the franchise's history, I mean, it makes me think of, like, technically this wasn't the case for Tri, but when it comes to 3 Ultimate and 4 Ultimate, we never got just the base game in the West. Like, technically Tri existed on the Wii, but in terms of, like, 3 Ultimate it's like its own animal on the 3DS, but, like, we never got Monster Hunter 4 in the West. Or we never got Monster Hunter Cross. We just got Double Cross, which was, I guess we did get Generations, right?
Yeah,
We did.
We got Generations and then Generations Ultimate on the Switch.
I think it's just 4, and then technically we didn't get Monster Hunter.
We didn't get Portable Third.
Portable Third, that's what it is.
I guess that's...
I mean, that is... No. That is different than Tri. I think.
That's true.
We should know this.
We should know this. We run a podcast.
We should know this. It's gonna be
Three Ultimate is different than Portable Third. It's off of Tri.
Yeah.
We got the Kingdom Hearts fucking naming system over here.
For real.
Doing math.
I mean, that's just a case where, you know, we didn't have this problem where, you know, this has kind of always been an issue in, you know, base World and base Rise, where, you know, low rank, high rank has never been, like, incredible in terms of, like, a compelling end game. And so you're kind of spoiled when you get something like 4 Ultimate, where it's like a complete package set in front of you, and it's not as reliant on, like, you know, we've got the appetizer and, you know, half of a main entree, it kind of feels like, and I'm waiting on, like, where's the rest of my meal?
That's a really good analogy, actually. Yeah, I think it just goes back to the whole point of, like,
I disagree with Max. That's not a good analogy. See, I've restored balance.
Yeah, I think it goes back to just, you know, like, back in the day, we used to just get games that were just complete, and now we're in the day and age where the games don't come complete day one. It comes with, like, a day one update, or further on there's DLC now and stuff like that. So, you know, would we be complaining about, or would there be this many people dropping off Monster Hunter now, like, if we had, like, everything to go off of? Who knows? We can't tell without it actually happening. But I would seriously doubt that there would be this many complaints of, like, we need more stuff going on had we had the full complete game. Like, could you imagine if they dropped Monster Hunter World with Iceborne? We'd also be playing it like, oh, we still have hella shit to do. You know, same thing with, like, Rise and Sunbreak. I think it would definitely keep our attention a lot longer than the way that Wilds has kind of dropped. But it's
kind of a double-edged sword, I think, because, on the one hand, if they were to pull something like a Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, where Japan got Monster Hunter 4 and we didn't get Monster Hunter 4 until Ultimate came out, like a year and a half later or whatever it was, like people in the West would be losing their minds.
Yeah.
Where that's, you know, I think a lot of the magic of it would also be torn away because, you know, we're so plugged in these days that, you know, we'd just be watching people in Japan play it or watching streams of it, and you know, it's like we'd know everything about the game by the time it came out, by the time it came to us.
That's how I felt.
There is something hype about sort of, you know, like day and date worldwide release where everybody's jumping at the same time.
Yeah,
but it would be nice to have, you know, a whole other country sort of, you know, beta test and go through all the low rank and high rank and have them fix performance issues and you know, get the final product. But
yeah, there's issues with either concept or like either way it's deployed, so I'm just glad that we're able to have enjoyed the game for what's going on right now. And I am a Street Fighter fan, so I am happy that update dropped Akuma. But let's go ahead and move on. Akuma? Let's go ahead and move on to our second story. Another win for Capcom. Monster Hunter Wilds developers announced changes to weapon usage statistics coming in Title Update 2. This article comes from N4G.com and is written by, I'm very sorry for butchering this, Sinija Grugurovic. That's the best I could do. On May 28th, the devs made an announcement on the official Monster Hunter page on X, formerly known as Twitter. The changes that devs announced with... lost voice. The changes that the devs announced will certainly excite all the Monster Hunter World perfectionists out there. The devs noted, quote, "Hunters, we've got an update for you about weapon usage stats on Hunter profiles. The following changes will be made to the weapon usage statistics of the quest completed page on Hunter profiles in Title Update 2. The default view will be changed to not reflect weapon usage for arena quests, challenge quests, or free challenge quests. The ability to reset the weapon usage statistics will also be added. We hope these changes make the game more satisfying for those who wish to maintain a carefully crafted Hunter profile." End quote. Thoughts?
I mean,
I think that's cool for like the couple people that it means a lot to. I know I've seen on Reddit people are upset that like they've tried to get like an even number across all weapons because it tracks like whether it's in your primary or secondary slot, and it's always off by like 1 because you're this first hunt that you go on, the first hunt or 2, like does not count for both slots. So it's like you will, if you only ever use one weapon, it will never be even between the number of hunts between those two. So
yeah,
I can see some people, like I felt a little bit of pain when my hunter card was like it was like 100% hunting horn, then I had to use the insect glaive once for that one quest.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought of. That's why I included this story in there. I was like, oh, Max is gonna love this. He's gonna be able to reset that. But yeah, it's not a huge deal for me, but I'm glad, just like Max is, that they're catering to a smaller part of the community that really cares about stuff like that. So it's really good.
Nothing bad.
Well, that's all for Monster Hunter news. And now, fellow hunters, the time has come, and so have I. That's right, it's time for our Monster Hunter trivia segment, Monster Hunter Mastery. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Monster Hunter Mastery. And today, we're playing AKA Alias Showdown. In this game, each of our contestants will try to guess the monster based on the monster's alias as it is written in the Monster Hunter Wiki. If the monster has 2 aliases, I will provide 1 alias, but our contestants will have the chance to double their points earned by giving me the second title. This game will last 4 rounds, and they will all be given 30 seconds to write down what they think the monster is. Then we'll go ahead and go over each answer and assign their points accordingly. Contestants, any questions?
I'm scared.
You're scared.
It's gonna be hard.
You should be. You guys got your pen and paper or some writing stuff ready? All right, let me grab
One second.
my timer.
Okay.
So you guys are going to be writing down the monster that you think is the name of the alias. So, that's 30 minutes. We ain't got time for that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool.
All right. 30 seconds. For round 1, for 20 points, we have Swamp Spouting Wyvern. You have 30 seconds starting now. Coming up on 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pencils up. This fucking guy.
I couldn't remember the name. I don't.
All right.
I don't know if I spelled it right.
I can see the monster in my mind's eye. I just can't remember the name.
Okay.
Also, I could be wrong. So double loss.
So for round 1, for 20 points, what is the name that goes under the alias, or what is the monster that goes under the alias Swamp Spouting Wyvern? Max.
So I don't know if it's going to show on here properly. No, it's not. I had Gypsaros and I crossed it out and wrote Almudron.
Okay.
So Almudron is my final answer.
That's actually really good shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so Max goes ahead and gets his Almudron. Brian, what did you get?
I went completely, I think, off on this one. I went with newer monster. I went with, I'll do it this way, Rumpapollo, thinking that it was like that was like tar poison, but I think Almudron makes more sense. I think it could be either one, but that was my guess here. Rumpapollo.
But does Almudron spew?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that probably makes Fu Manchu or fucking
Whoa,
sorry.
What, Fu Manchu? What?
that was my. The Dalmatron has the little fucking whiskers. I couldn't remember his name.
And for Ryan's answer, he put Mud Fu Manchu, homie, or Fu Mud Chew.
Almudron. He gets,
which I believe he means is Almudron. Is that
yes,
correct?
That's what I meant. I couldn't remember the name, so I had 0 points.
Okay.
I'm good with like I can see it. I just can't remember the name all the time.
Gotcha. All right. Well, moving on to round 2 for 40 points. Sorry. Moving on to round 2 for 40 points. You're going to get the alias of Piercing Assassin. Contestants, you now have 30 seconds to write down your monster. Again, the alias is Piercing Assassin. Let me remind you guys that this is for all monsters throughout the Monster Hunter universe, not just the most recent title or not just one particular title. You guys have 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pencils up. All right. Max, what do you think is the Piercing Assassin?
I don't think this is right, but I wrote Nargacuga because it's assassin-like, but it doesn't really pierce, so I think I might have missed on this one.
Okay. Brian, what did you get?
Great minds think alike. I was like, Nargacuga makes sense to me. It kind of has like the tail spikes and it's
I see that.
eyes, but and you're saying we're going across the whole series. I'm like, we're not just in one game. I keep thinking Wilds, so but I think it could be something else from Wilds, and I'm like, oh, we'll see.
Okay.
It's got an interesting name.
And Ryan, what did you think it was?
Nargacuga was definitely my first thought, but again, I was like, it doesn't like stab or poke, and then like my brain went to like Kieran for a second with the horn, and then I went way left field and I put Kezu because I was like, okay, hang on.
It certainly has a piercing scream,
and it hangs out on the ceiling all the time, so it like just drops down on you. So those two things combined, I'm like, this is probably not the right answer, but whatever.
Gotcha.
I did not get the last one either, so I don't really feel like I got a horse in this race right now, so I'm just kind of going for it.
I mean, you're in the first place right now, so.
Oh crap! Hang on, I gotta try hard now. Damn.
Yeah.
Shit.
So there. I should have figured out how we should have revealed the answers. If I should reveal the answers at the end, but then you guys don't have a chance for the thing. You know what? I'll reveal the answers at the end, and then I'll give you the chance to double your points if there is a second alias. Sound good?
Okay.
Got it.
For me.
All right, let's move on to round 3. For 20 points, you have the White Rabbit Beast. Contestants, you now have 3.
Rabbit or rabid?
White Rabbit Beast. Contestants, you now have 30 seconds to write down your answers. And let me remind you that you are watching the Palibros podcast, where a group of friends talk about Monster Hunter, play Monster Hunter trivia, do all the fun stuff. Please like, subscribe, share. Also, we have a sister podcast, kind of. It's called the Lucky Girls Podcast. It's my wife and sister-in-law. They have a lot of fun. They make fun content and stuff. This is probably going better than their shout out to our podcast. So there you go. And time's up.
Just like that.
All right. What do we think the White Rabbit Beast is, Max?
Lagombi, baby.
Let's go.
Okay.
I forgot about the Lagombi.
Yeah.
Brian, what did you get for the White Rabbit Beast?
Also, Lagombi.
Mm-hmm.
Lagombi.
Lagombi.
Young and Strip de France, something.
And what did you put?
I made something up, bro. I could not remember.
You did.
I was trying to remember the name of the guy of the snow monster that has like the sword for the hand.
Gosrog.
Gosrog. Yeah. Okay.
My guess was Gar Harak.
Yeah, I thought you were choking on something.
What?
Yeah.
Well, Val Hazak kept like, when you have like the words that are like close to each other and you're trying to remember them.
Yeah.
My brain could not stop pulling it towards Val Hazak.
What I love about this is it says Gar Harak, and then right underneath, in quotes, in parentheses, what the fuck? Question mark.
What the fuck?
I don't even know what my fucking answer is.
Yeah.
Take it back, right?
I'm like, I know that's not a
be a text. They're funny.
Yeah. You feel free to screen cap them and display them.
Definitely will.
Yeah.
And
because I'm like, I split the difference between them. So there you go.
And moving on to our 4th and final round. This is the one that you want to get for 50 points. We have Strange Wyvern. Contestants, you have 30 seconds starting now. Like I was saying, we have a sister podcast called Lucky Girls Podcast. It involves my wife and sister-in-law. They do fun topics. They talk about like things that their viewers bring up. So if you guys start watching them, they're going to ask their viewers certain questions and they go and talk about the topics and stuff like that. So go ahead and check them out at youtube.com/luckygirlpod. And time is up. Max, what do we think the Strange Wyvern is?
Not gonna lie, I'm lost on this one.
I saw your face.
There's a lot of things that I could describe as a Strange Wyvern, but I went with Rumpapolo because it's kind of whack in its design.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Max,
because it's whack, hurtful.
Exactly.
Max locks in Rompapalo. Brian, what did you think the strange wyvern is?
So I went with kind of I don't even know if I spelled this right. And it's been a long time since we've seen this. Y'all remember is it Giganax? Giganax?
The Giganax.
Giganax. It was like was it purple? I don't know.
Gotcha.
But, it looked funky. It was kind of Kezu-like, so it was also really creepy. It looked strange to me.
Am I remembering this right? Is it like the purple version of the Kezu?
Yeah, it's like a well, I think it's different enough.
It's not really a Kezu. It's like it has like the tail that looks kind of like his head, and it laid the little funky eggs that hatched into the little giggies that jumped onto you.
Okay.
That was like only in 3 Ultimate, right?
Yeah.
Or something like it's been a long time.
I spelled it wrong. It's Giganox. Giggi.
Two G's.
Two G's and an I. Yeah, no Giga.
And Ryan, what did you go ahead and lock in for strange wyvern?
This feels like cheap because I already had it on the brain after the last answer, but I put the Valhazak.
Doubling down.
Well, because I remember from Worlds, like in like the cutscenes and stuff, they like the way that they were speaking about it was very like, oh, there's like this strange wyvern like down in the depths, like we don't know anything about it, and it was like this like part of the story where they kept calling it strange and weird and like mysterious, and then when you first find it, it's like this like pile of bones. You're like, what? So, you know, that it's kind of I know it's kind of like a short hop to the answer because but it actually at least makes sense in my mind. And also, it's one of the stranger looking Monster Hunter monsters in like the visual vernacular of everything, because they tend to be either like straight up like wyverns or like Western European or European or Eastern kind of style dragons. So like there's only so much visual language, and like the thing to me that feels like the furthest out of it is like the Valhazak.
Gotcha.
I was kind of in a similar space where my initial thought was like Xenojiva or something, because it's like alien in design and theme compared to the rest of the game, comes out of Cocoon. But then you start thinking like, well, does it have to be actually a wyvern? Like traditionally a wyvern has a specific body shape, but in the case of Monster Hunter, you have like brute wyverns where it's like a freaking T-Rex and we're calling that a wyvern. Right. So like anything could be a wyvern in this game, basically.
Yeah. I enjoy seeing your guys' thought processes here. I think that's the funnest part of these types of trivia games. So I like that answer from you, Ryan. Let's go ahead and go through our answers, starting with round 1. All right, for 20 points, the monster that is known as the swamp spouting wyvern is the Rompapalo.
What?
Nice.
Let's go.
Dang.
Got one.
Got it.
Yep, and Brian got that round, and he earns
Was that
himself
like 100 points?
20.
Right there.
Whoa, hey.
He's gaslighting us in real time
and locks in 20 points for round 1. For round 2, for the name of the piercing assassin, we have the Zuu.
Oh.
Brian was right. He was right in thinking, he was like, maybe it is wild.
Dude, also, that's so dumb because all of his armors are like named after famous like killers, so you're like, that's kind of a gimme. I totally forgot.
Yeah. Oh shit! I didn't ever do that.
My other thought for that one was like Shogun Senator or something.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like pops out of the ground and stabs you.
I'm going to give you guys a chance at 40 points for this one right here, right now. There is a second alias for this monster.
For which one? Zuu?
For the Zuu. Who wants Max? Go ahead and venture a guess.
I have no idea.
You can literally say anything. It might happen.
Eight-armed eater or something. Like I have no idea.
Okay. Brian, what's the second alias for the Zuu?
Octopod. I don't know.
And
No clue.
Ryan, what do you think is the second name?
I texted you a joke answer and I guess my joke answer is the Hey Arnold. Because he got that football head.
Yeah.
Or the alien cephalopod. I don't know.
Gotcha. Well, the second alias for the Zulu is
The
actually
Great Killer or something, huh?
Concealed Weapon Octopus.
Octopod.
So, pretty close.
So close.
I'll
Yeah, so
you
far.
Moving on to round 3. Gave you guys the alias of White Rabbit Beast, and the answer to that is, in fact, the Lagambi.
Yeah.
Ah,
We got
not the Kark or whatever.
Nope.
Shoot.
So Max and Brian go ahead and secure their 20 points for that round, and there actually is a second alias. Would you guys care to venture a guess?
for the Gombi.
Oh my god, I think I might know this one.
I have no idea.
It's like White Slider or something. That's my guess.
It does
You're
slide a
locking
lot.
in White Slider. Okay. What about you, Brian?
Mm,
The face.
the snow catapult.
Snow Catapult. You're locking Snow Catapult, and
Yep, that's all
Max
I
is locking in White Slider. The official second alias for the Lagambi is the Silver Slider.
Oh, Silver Slider. That's what I would. That's just. By the way, you never let me guess, so I'm gonna say Silver Slider.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
well,
good job.
You didn't actually get any points, so that times
As-
0 or times 2 is 0 points times 2 is just 0. So,
Okay,
there you
I
go.
thought it was like an extra. Okay.
No, I was being generous with the second round. What's up,
I
Max?
consider myself to be Lagambi's strongest soldier, so I should have known that one.
All right, and moving on to the last round for 50 points. The Strange Wyvern is actually the Kezu.
Oh, damn it.
I knew
Oh,
Ryan would be pissed.
Whatever, bro. I don't even
I
care.
mean, that is strange. I guess that makes sense.
And since you guys all missed out on that, I'm going to be generous again. And for 50 points, what do you think its second alias is?
I'm gonna say like Silent Hunter.
Max locks in Silent Hunter. Brian?
Piercing screech.
Piercing Screech, and Ryan.
I don't know the rubber wyvern.
Isn't that
Extra
another
yip in
one?
there.
Is that's like the
Gypsaros, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, is it? I thought the Kazoo was like resistant to lightning and stuff.
I think it is.
I mean, it makes sense that it
Yeah.
would be.
Yeah.
It is lightning itself.
Nice try, but none of you get the 50 points.
What? None of us.
The second alias for the Kezu is Blink Stare.
What the hell?
It ain't got no eyeballs.
Yeah.
I have a blank stare after this round, dude.
So go ahead and give me a second while I tally up the points. And after 4 rounds of AKA Alias Showdown, let's go ahead and recap the totals for this episode of Monster Hunter Mastery. In last place, with a total of 145 points, is for Team Malzino, Max. In second place, with a total of 200 points, representing Team Tigrex, is Ryan. And now leading in first place with a total of 215 points, pulling ahead for Team Zinogre is Brian.
Nice.
Okay.
But
I'll
it's
take it
still
from
anybody's game.
Panda plus.
Well, congrats to our contestants, and that is all for Monster Hunter Mastery. Of course, if you hear that sound, it means we're all readied up for the topic of the show. And today's topic, we're breaking out the wheels, everybody, because it's time for round 2 of Monster Hunter Roguelike. And if you're new here and don't know what MHRL is, we're going to do a hunt with completely random variables, random weapons, items, monsters, all that kind of good stuff. So right now we're going to go ahead and head to the wheel to determine what gear we're going to initiate our hunt with. Now you guys will notice I've made a couple changes to the wheels from last time. You're going to see that we actually have no high rank armor option, and some of the tougher monsters have a higher percentage chance on the wheel. So we're going to have Brian go ahead and bring up the wheel for us.
Okay.
And starting off with wheel number 1 is going to be our monster wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any hopes on what we're fighting?
Quick clarification.
Yeah.
I see Tempered Rathian on the wheel. Is that actually available to fight right now?
I'm just gonna say that we're gonna put whatever highest version of the monster that is available.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, anything that is whatever we could get our hands on. If we are available to get an Tempered Rathian, we'll do that. If not, we'll get the second highest, and then so on and so forth.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm hoping we get something hard. I want
Yeah, that'd be nice.
the Gormagala that's going on right now.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I hope we have an investigation for it.
Gormagala with starter weapons and low rank armor.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
we'll see.
Go wrong.
All right, Ryan.
That'd be great.
Brian, sorry. Go ahead and hit the
See.
wheel for us.
All right, let it begin. What's it gonna be? Oh my goodness.
Oh shit! It's almost a Zoshia, and
Okay,
wow, that's pretty
Rathian.
cool.
We got Rathian.
Rathian. So we're gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and find the hardest version of the Rathian that we can find, and it would be Rathian, right? Not Guardian Rathian. So
Up to us.
There isn't a Guardian Rathian.
Yeah. Oh, in this game, yeah.
Oh, I
it's
think we're
just
good,
normal. Yeah. You're right.
It's just normal Rathian.
oh shit, it's Rathian, not Rathalos. Okay, so yeah,
Mhm.
Rathian.
Okay.
All right, and in our next wheel, it's going to determine whether we do this hunt with individual weapons and we spin for our own weapons, or if we're going to do the hunt as a group with all the same weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and spin that wheel.
So yeah, let's get a group one. Come on, show me group. What's it gonna be? Oh, it might just be it. It might just be it. We
shit!
got the group.
We got the group weapons.
weapon.
This is the first
Okay.
time.
Desire detector at work here. Here, listen to me.
All right, so we're gonna do the group, and our third wheel is. You know what, Brian? Can you go ahead and bring up the weapons wheel since we're doing?
New weapon next. Okay.
So
Yeah.
right now we have all 14 weapons listed here, and yeah, we're gonna find out which weapon we're all going to be using as a group. Are there anything that we don't want to use? I pretty much got my weakness out of the way, which was insect glaive.
Mhm.
So I think I'm good with anything else.
I have zero experience with like the hunting horns. That would be
Oh shit! I forgot about the hunting horn.
that would basically brick me. So
Give me that
yeah.
hunting horn, baby.
Group
Yeah,
hunting
it's gonna
horn.
be-
Max is gonna get his jazz class.
Let's go. I'm kind of hoping longsword is not the way. We don't want to all add that to our stats.
All right,
right,
go
shall
ahead
we
and
see?
spin the wheel.
Come on, give me my lance, baby.
So many cats.
What kitties?
And switch X and
we're doing
insect
insect
glaive.
glaive.
Let's
Let's
go. Max is reeling in
Wow.
pain.
Pat was
I may or may not have accidentally given him false hope. I'll
All right, we're
I'll take that.
doing group insect glaive. I'm so glad. All right, moving on to our armor wheel. Nope, like you guys heard earlier, there were 3 choices. It was low rank, high rank, and no armor, but decided to take out the high rank since it's basically what we have all the time anyways. Maybe we'll put that option back in when we have the expansion, the fully completed game, and there's G rank and stuff. But for now, we either have low rank armor or no armor at all. What are we fighting, a Rathian?
Yeah.
Come on,
I
maybe.
think it's like it's a moveset where I think we're familiar enough with that like armor is going to be less of a factor on this one, but still would be nice to have some armor.
I mean, but we all have insect glaives in. I think I'm the most versed in it right now, so
I used to play insect glaive back in Worlds, so it'll just take me a second to get back up to speed, I think.
All right. Well, I'm hoping for no armor. I want something a little crazier.
Let's do it. We'll see.
And looks like I'm gonna get my wish there. We're doing low rank armor.
Okay.
All right. And for our last wheel, it's going to determine what items we can bring on the hunt with us. We can go ahead and bring just potions and mega potions. We can only bring cleansing items. We could bring all items, or the last but not least, we can bring 0 items on the hunt. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see what we can carry.
No items. Let's see.
Jeez.
No armor, no items would be crazy.
Oh,
the masochism in this group.
Cleansing items? Yep.
Is that even something we can even utilize in this hunt? Like,
if we get poison,
you can use
an antidote, right?
Herbal medicine. Yeah, we're gonna use herbal medicine. That still heals.
I mean, that's true.
That counts.
Shit.
Yeah, we're gonna be in for a 1.
All right, so we have cleansing. All right, and for our recap, this run of Monster Hunter Roguelike, we're going to be facing the Rathian. With our whole group is going to be running Insect Glaive, using low rank armor and only being allowed to use cleansing items. So let's go ahead and switch on over to the game, and we'll catch you in a sec. Now, for audio listeners, just like in previous episodes, we're going to put up our footage of the hunt for the video viewers, but that doesn't mean you guys are going to miss out. We're going to have our post-hunt clarity report playing over our hunting footage, so you can listen in on all of our thoughts about the hunt. And the entire hunt will be uploaded to the YouTube channel, complete with all our real-time reactions, so you can go ahead and watch that there. Please leave a like or share it with friends, and hope you guys have fun with that. Let's go ahead and start Monster Hunter Roguelike. Alright guys, we went ahead and survived another round of Monster Hunter Roguelike. What do we think? How did the fight pan out for you guys? What was some of the challenges that we kind of faced?
Controls for me, I think. Sounds like for Ryan too. Trying to know what the hell we're doing.
I was mashing buttons. I literally had no clue what was going on the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little more comfortable now with the Insect Glaive. I did have that experience in the last time. It's been foisted upon me, the Insect Glaive. So I'm feeling a little more comfortable now.
Yeah.
I will full disclaimer that I did forget to put on low rank armor. I think my gameplay can attest that I don't think I would have died regardless, but
yeah,
I don't know. I carded, so maybe, who knows.
Oh yeah, you did card, yeah.
You don't have to say it like that, friend.
No, I forgot that you did because I was so like engrossed in like what was happening. Because it's different when you have low rank armor and you can't heal. All we had were cleansing items. So I was like, I have to make sure I know, because since we know how to fight the Rathian, I'm like, okay, I know when it's gonna attack, what it's gonna do. I have to make sure I hit my cue so that I don't get hit. So yeah, that's the interesting part of that, when you know you can't get hit. So you kind of have to play it a little bit differently. Luckily for me, since I decided to pick up the Insect Glaive, I felt like I was the most comfortable here, and I was like, oh, okay, so let's go ahead and like get our bug extracts and do like my kind of just like combo loop of triangle, 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 and then circle and stuff like that. I know Ryan was like, what the hell do I do here? Like, I don't know what I'm basically just using a big old stapler.
Yeah.
But
it felt a little weird. That's okay.
I was pretty sad when I got all my extracts, and I was like, I literally started doing like the super spiral move, and I got laser beamed by the Gravios in the back, like the frame it started, and I lost all my extracts.
No.
I wasn't doing any extract farming. I wasn't breaking wounds. I wasn't none of that. So
you are hitting triangle.
Well, a couple more Insect Glaive mandatory hunts, and you'll be an expert.
Well, look, I really just needed 5 minutes in the training ground, but I wasted that time trying to talk to Tashin for a freaking health boost, and he was asleep.
Oh, wow. God damn it, Tashin.
Damn it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I had
tomatoes and
PTSD
garlic.
when the Gravios shut up. We're like, oh, something's behind us, and it just roared, and I turned around. I was like, oh, it's a goddamn Gravios.
Yeah, beaming us.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, Max, like the reason I didn't get hit by that is because I'm contributing. So like I immediately switched to defense mode and did like the pike aerial move to like dodge the beam, which was probably the only part of the fight that felt somewhat cool for me. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was pretty cool that we, we all got to at one point do a collective like wound break all at the same time. I wish it was earlier in the fight so we could have used like our powered up Insect Glaives to like finish it off, but it was at the tail end where I saw a blue wound, and we're like, okay, usually when a monster is sleeping for like huge damage, we'll do like as many mega barrel bombs as we can, and then have someone triple charge or do like some sort of like Wyvern Fire or something like that. But because it's Monster Hunter Roguelike, we're only supposed to be able to use cleansing items. We couldn't do mega barrel bombs or stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well, it's sleeping, but it has this wound. Let's all just do like a synced up wound break at the same time, and we all got our bug extracts and fully upgraded Insect Glaives. And then it died shortly after that, so that was pretty cool.
I gotta be honest, I don't think I broke the wound or got any of the bug juices. I'm pretty sure I just did a regular attack because I don't know anything. I'm a little baby. I got no money, dude.
Well, this is the karmic punishment from the time in the arena quest where you got like your main weapons. It had to happen eventually.
Yeah.
Well, has this experience kind of opened your eye towards like trying the Insect Glaive out, or are you staying far away from it, Ryan?
No. It was a weapon that I like tried to get into in World, and I probably only had like 15 hunts on it or something. 8 years ago, whenever World was out, 9 years. Jesus. And so it's not like I've never used it before, but it's like I didn't remember enough to like be useful at all. Like I completely useless. So I don't know. Greatsword has so much like new tech that I'm feeling pretty satisfied. Like I don't really feel. I don't know. I'm not quite to the point yet where I like want to like try every weapon a little bit. I think I've tried every weapon like in like enough times to be like, I get it. It's just not for me. Okay. I haven't tried anything yet that I'm just like, man, I've been sleeping on this. Like, what am I missing? Yeah. So I'm sure the roguelike might.
Hunt, and I'll be your sensei.
Well, Patrick was kind of a bad sensei on this one. I had to ask him explicitly, like, tell me how to do this.
That's the point of this. We're not supposed to be able to know exactly what we're doing. So, yeah, I think that one exactly is planned.
To be honest, I think once you get into Insect Glaive, it kind of feels like Greatsword in the same sense, where I feel like Greatsword, once you get past the second charge and you're getting that true charge ready, it's kind of like you're seeing red, like I gotta let it rip.
Oh yeah,
that monster starting at me, like same thing. Like once you get those extracts, it's like I gotta cash it out. I gotta do the big move.
Oh no, yeah, it feels exactly like that. It's funny because I haven't touched Insect Glaive since Akuma came out, and I literally played like a whole bunch of Akuma. I was like, shit, I can't just pull out my Akuma moveset right now. I mean, I could, but that wouldn't be fair to the challenge. And so I kind of had for like the first minute or so, I was like, oh shit, how do I use this again? And then it kind of came back to me. And then I was like zipping all over the place, hitting like the wounds and stuff while I was flying over them, and like just recomboing everything into each other, and it was awesome. I was like, man, Insect Glaive is really fun. It's a lot different from Charge Blade, like I initially said in the earlier episode. So yeah, I'm glad that we survived this episode of Monster Hunter Roguelike. I look forward to the next one, and yeah, hopefully we all get another weapon where we're all just completely useless with
Hunting horn, bring it on.
I'm excited for the day we all do a group hunting horn challenge against something crazy.
I think the real takeaway is that we still did it in 10 minutes.
That's something we said about that too. It was like you know, I think only maybe 1.5 of us were like super used to the weapon, but yeah. All 4 of us are really used to the Rathian, so I think there's something to say to that too. Because if it was a monster that we're all not too familiar with, say we did this with like the newest version of Lagiacrus, I don't know how we would fare. Like I mean,
Rathian is pretty. I don't want to say slow, but it has a lot of openings. It has a pretty predictable pattern. Like if it was like Tempered Mizitsune or something, it'd be kind of hard to get. It'd be harder to get away with
no heals,
not knowing exactly what you're doing.
The wheel helped us out with that pick this time around. Oh, yeah. But yeah,
maybe not.
Yeah, I can't imagine all of us first time hunting a horn a tempered gore with a low rank armor and no heals. That would end quickly in not our favor.
If that happens, I will demand that we all use different hunting horns so we make beautiful music together.
We're going down with the ship together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching this episode of the Palibros, and thank you for watching this episode of Monster Hunter Roguelike. We hope you enjoyed it, and you guys can go ahead and catch the full unedited version with all our real-time reactions over on the YouTube channel. It should be under like the full hunt playthrough playlist, stuff like that. So thanks again for watching. Leave a like, share this with friends, and yeah, that brings us to the end of this episode of the Palibros. Before we go, what's everyone watching, playing, enjoying at the moment? I know for me it's definitely Switch 2 with some Mario Kart World, but also finally decided to say fuck it, and I'm actually watching X-Men 97 without having to go through the entire thing. I think I'm on season 3 of the original X-Men. Like I watched it back in the day, but I was a little kid, don't remember. Now I'm on episode 2 of X-Men 97, and I'm like, holy shit, what a time to be watching this, because it is just so apt for the times. But yeah, what are you guys watching, playing?
Yeah, for me, I've been go ahead.
Oh, okay. I've been catching up on some anime that I haven't watched. I've been watching Freerun.
Good choice.
So pretty much that. Playing some DJ Max.
Yeah, you got that Tekken DLC that you showed me earlier.
That was a little while ago. I was just showing you because I thought you might be interested in that.
Okay, yeah, that's super cool.
Also watching a well-liked anime that I've been meaning to watch for a while, Irresponsible Captain
What?
Tyler.
What the heck is that?
It's basically like it's like a comedy riff on like all of like the popular space opera animes of like the 80s and 90s.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, think of like Trigun plus like what's like the super like OG anime that's like a space opera I can't, before Gundam, like what basically led up to Gundam. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, classic me not remembering the names of things. But yeah, anyways, it's like, it's just, this guy is just seems like he's a buffoon and like always somehow comes out on top. So yeah, very Trigun in that way. I've also been playing Planet Coaster 2 again since they've updated a bunch of stuff, and also tried the Splitgate Battle Royale for the first time today. So that was interesting.
Nice. How'd you like it?
It was it was thoughtful. Like, it was really frustrating at first because I'm like, I don't have any ammo, but it's like they basically make it so you're highly encouraged to like immediately drop on like a little loot bin. So I guess that's kind of par for the course, but they give you a starting pistol with like 10 bullets in it. So if you hot drop and you don't hit the bin, it sucks. But it's interesting because they take their 4 big size maps and stitch them together. So you basically, the drop ship like flies over each of them, and to get to each of them, it goes through a literal giant portal from the game, but it's like a giant version of it. So you basically, each team can decide which section they want to drop in, and you kind of fight your way like through the map, and then the ring pushes you to the next area. So like as the map moves on, like each of the 4 big maps gets like quarantined off, and then everyone's forced to fight. So it doesn't feel like other battle royales where you can see the whole map and like anyone can drop anywhere, and there's like parts of the map that are dead. Like, you're pretty much forced into combat right away throughout the entire thing. And so that, in that regard, it's kind of fun because the combat's pretty fast paced and pretty similar to like the actual arena style game modes that it has. So far it's feeling somewhat refreshing. Nice. The CEO at like Games Fest was such a dork about it. You're like, okay, brother, like,
yeah.
I kind of don't want to give it credit just because he was like, we broke the code, and you're like, shut up, dude, shut the hell up.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to admit that you like the game after that.
Well, I've been playing it for the last couple of weeks, and it's open beta, and I've been enjoying it.
I love the game too, but after that moment, I was like, ugh, I feel kind of gross for playing this right now. But yeah, Brian, what have you been playing or looking forward to?
Yeah, not a whole lot of extra games right now. It's just because with the Switch being a little frustrating lately. But I've been watching a lot of movies lately. So I just recently watched I guess it's technically not a movie, but joined Max in watching, I guess not with him, but we saw the Dawn to Dawn Evil Eye on separate occasions, which is the cut of the 3 first episodes of season 2 for the anime. And yes, Max, I wholeheartedly agree. They just can't do audio right for any theater, for anything related to anime. It is way too fucking loud. My ears were hurting.
Your theater had the audio mixing issue as well?
Yes. It was fucking... I was like, ow. What is with this shit? It's just not made... like, it's stereo, so it's just not made for...
Where did you see this?
AMC in Santa Clara.
Oh. Yeah, it feels like international films...
I went to see it at a Cinemark theater, and I had the same issue where I don't know if they just didn't mix it properly for like the audio arrangement for these theaters, but it was like double. Because I remember when we went to see One Piece, was it Film Red? Yeah, where we had the same issue with the theater where it was like painfully loud. Like there's something wrong with their audio setup or the way that it was mixed. Yeah, it was really kind of obnoxious.
The thing though is that like they should have a stereo mix, because eventually this stuff has to be out of theaters and is going to be on people's like, you were saying the opposite. Is that I think I misunderstood you, Brian. You're saying it is a stereo mix.
It's a stereo. It's only stereo.
Not a 5. Right. Oh, okay, right. Okay.
So they throw it on a multi 5.1.
Yeah, you would think if they're doing a special, if they have a special theatrical release though, it should have like a 5.1 or greater, like mixing.
It's just not that special though. It's like they just hyper cut it all together. Like there's been really no transitions. It just kind of like they just cut out the intro and ending.
You could see like the moments where like there's supposed to be a commercial.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's hilarious.
It's a very low. I'm sorry to say this. It's obviously they put effort into it, but it feels low effort compared to
I think that's a fair criticism though, because it's like. It's very clearly, I don't know. I mean, Mugen Train was felt way different, right? So
I mean, that was an actual movie.
Right. But I guess what I'm just trying to say is that like that should be somewhere near the bar that they're reaching for. They don't have to do it as smooth as that, but yeah, it feels a little. Well, I haven't seen it, but based on what you're saying, it sounds like pretty disappointing, especially with the piercing audio. I mean, I almost walked out of the freaking One Piece movie that we saw in Metreon because it was like so freaking loud, man. It like hurt.
You need AirPods Pro just to keep that sound down.
Well, it sounds like it's a recurring problem, and I want to say in all international releases, but I don't know. I feel like I've also seen other like foreign films
I watch a lot of foreign films, and it's like I never have this problem.
Mm-hmm.
Something about Japanese films. I don't know. Maybe if there's like a different decibel standard there. That like
it's just the animated films.
It's just anime, huh?
Yeah. I just don't think there's ever a multi-channel audio track for anime, even on like a Blu-ray. I could be wrong, but I feel like they just don't mix for that.
Yeah, but then that's the responsibility of the theaters then to like do a test run to make sure that everything's calibrated correctly. And if things are loud as shit, they need to put some sort of like pad on it, like some like -10, -20 dB pad. Like. It's like there's no way that they don't have some sort of fidelity back there up in the projector booth. Like that I find that impossible to believe that they can't control the volume.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe Adobe has some sort of like, or help me out here.
Dolby.
Dolby. Thank you.
Did you say Adobe?
Has some sort of okay.
I did. I was like, wait, I didn't get what happened.
I lost the naming game today, so don't I'm already so yeah, maybe Dolby has like a special key that says like, look, we've calibrated this, don't fuck with it, and but like the head office of Dolby is around the corner from Metreon, so like like at the very least, I don't know. There's got to be some sort of like gain stage or some sort of like volume knob that they can twist.
Anything's better than me sitting in the theater wincing while I have my hand over my ears because it's like painful.
That's crazy.
I've been to a lot of really loud concerts, so I'm pretty sure my hearing, like I'm gonna be that old guy who goes, like that's for sure gonna be me. And even I, when we all saw our, not Dandadan, but the One Piece movie a couple years ago, it was bad.
Yeah, they gotta figure that stuff out. But Brian, Max, and Ryan, thank you guys again for coming out for another episode of the Palibros. And of course, fellow hunters, I want to thank you guys for watching and listening to this episode of the Palibros as well. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode and want to keep up with us, you can hit that subscribe button on YouTube, or you can follow us on Spotify or the other variety of podcast services. Please give us a good rating, help us out with the algorithm and discoverability. And again, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And until next time, happy hunting.